Well, good evening. We are at downtown historic McMinnville for Cruising McMinnville. It's the second annual Cruising McMinnville. About the fifth year it's been going on altogether. I'm Eve Fuller, broadcast partner Brian Eriksen, and we are just beginning to see the cruise go on, and you can hear it all around us too. It is a hoot. Boy, what do you think?
Well, you know, it's great to be out here, and you said you can see it, but you can feel it. You get the rumbles, you get the
rumbles
smells.
Are in your chest.
Yeah,
you can really feel it.
It's really pretty cool. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. You've got the old cars, two cars that are only a couple of years old, and they all have something, a story behind them, which is really, really pretty awesome.
Everybody has a story, and they all want to talk about their cars, and that's the whole point of what was going on today, actually. They had the car show. 3rd Street McMinnville completely closed off to traffic, and the car show came in. I think they started filing in after midnight last night from what I heard. But they were coming in, 254 cars lined up and down 3rd Street. Not really a car, it's more of a car show than a car competition of any sort, because anybody was welcome to come. And you were down earlier, and there was quite the show and quite a bit of people, wasn't there?
Yeah, the variety was really impressive as you walk down there and you turn right and you've got cars from the 50s, the 60s, 70s, even a little bit earlier than that. And you turn off to the left, you get the same. Then you get some cars, like I said, a couple years in maybe 2010s, 2015s, some of the specialty cars. But it's really kind of neat, and all different years and different colors, and just cool to see the people in there and sitting next to their cars, very proud of them, kind of like you see now, driving up and down the road. They're pretty happy.
You've got the newer Mustang, and then you've got the older Camaro. You've got a blend of everything, and it's the one time of year that people can get their car out, shine it up. My brother-in-law was so impressed this morning that he even washed my car, and I just have a car. I was like, okay, go for it.
I was talking with my buddies the other day, and he's like, yeah, we're coming out there, and we've been working on my car to get it ready for the show and for the cruise, and he's been spending a couple of weeks on it, which is kind of cool because they're very proud of what they've got, which is pretty awesome. And you get some of these cars that you said earlier while we were waiting, Eve, that this is probably the only day of the year they're out here.
They're out, and they take it out of the garage, they soup it up, they wax it, and look at how beautiful they are, though. They're just so nice. We're downtown McMinnville, historic downtown McMinnville, for the second annual Cruising McMinnville. What you might not know is Drag the Gut evolved into Cruising McMinnville, and what Cruising McMinnville is a 501c3 nonprofit. And one of the things they do is offer scholarships to Yamhill County students that are going on into trade school. And actually, I know one of the students that got the very first scholarship this year, Noah Burris. He received one, and Dama Flores was the other's winner from this year. And they're both going on. Last I knew, Noah was wanting to be a mechanic, but that was a few years ago when I talked to his mom, and you know how things change. So, but he is going into some sort of a trade and wants to work with probably motors and engines and things like that.
Well, you look at these cars here, and it just shows you that there is a niche out there.
Oh my gosh!
There's a lot of money in these cars. I mean, some of these cars are, you see them, the for sale signs on them. They're asking $10,000, $15,000, and there's a couple cars in here that are well over that price. I'd guess.
I am sure there are. Yeah. And the older the car, the more it takes in, and yeah.
And, to be able to work in the trades and to do some of that, it's pretty cool. And there's a big need for it. We saw a couple of cars that had to be pushed before you got here earlier.
Oh, no.
They've been sitting all day, and I think somebody mentioned they may have left the lights on inside the cabin. And once they got started, they were, they got towed a little bit. And, just things like that. There's a big need for it.
Remember those days? You leave your lights on, you come back to a dead battery. Oh, yeah.
Didn't have anything like this yellow Mustang there.
No,
but,
not at all.
It would be nice. And, remember the day we used to, just cruise around in a Plymouth Grand Fury 3 to go to work.
64 Catalina Pontiac, you betcha.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I think I've seen one or two of those out here.
We could fit 8 people in that car. I hope my mom's not listening.
I don't think that's It's definitely not legal. And we do have some special guests that we'll try to bring on here. I think Tim Elliott's going to come on here and talk about what we've got going on. So it'll be great to talk to him. So I'm sure we've got some good questions for him, because this is the guy who's really
He's been instrumental in bringing it together. Plus, he knows his cars, that's for sure.
Well, with all these different types of cars here, you really need to know that, because there's so many different ones.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So it's kind of fun to see some of the old ones, even like I said, talk to the new ones. But it's just the wide variety and cars that I've never even heard of before.
Yeah, exactly. Tim Elliott has joined us. Thank you for coming, Tim.
Good evening.
Are you? I don't know that. I mean, it's a nonprofit and it's a kind of a grassroots group. But people have said that you're the man in charge. You're the one that's got it going. And wow, what a task this year. I heard you had to turn cars away from the car show because it was so full.
I think everybody got the opportunity to be
Oh, did they?
Yes,
oh, I'm
absolutely.
so glad. Good,
So,
good.
I am bottom of the totem pole.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's
sure.
Absolute truth.
I doubt
Our volunteers are the top of the pole. They're the top of the team. And they're the people who make this work. Our sponsors, everybody that helps make this event happen. So we do the grunt work. We really do. David Thompson's right here with me. He's one of the other principals of the event.
Okay.
And we just saw an opportunity in July of last year, and we took the event over. And because the former promoter said, I'm done. And in 6 weeks' time, we put it together as a nonprofit organization. And our heart is to help young folks getting out of high school, going to college, and we offer them scholarships.
that. And Noah Burris and Dama Flores were the first two recipients this year.
That is
Yes,
correct.
I think that's so wonderful. Let me ask you this. We're looking at some beautiful cars right now. What are some of the more unusual cars that have participated this year, have come in that you've seen?
Well, let's see. There's an 8-wheel Titan missile carrier
What?
that belongs to one of the canine officer from Newburgh,
Really?
and it's amazing. It's huge. It's about a football. It's not a football field long, but it's probably 40 feet long, 30
Wow.
feet and change.
Okay.
It's crazy. We just had a helicopter cruise through. You probably saw that.
I
We
did
did.
not. How did I miss that?
A Jeep with a actual helicopter on a trailer full of aliens.
Oh, okay. That was from Evergreen.
Yes.
Okay, I did see that.
There was a trike with some fuzzy monsters like Cookie
Yeah.
Monster or something coming through, and the awesome thing for us is we never know what we're going to see.
don't.
We just don't have a clue.
Has there been a car come through that you have not seen before today?
We had a little bite, and we were just talking about that. We always see brand new cars that we've never seen. People from out of the area. People come. We have people here from Montana this year,
Wow.
California, Washington, and people come from all over for our event.
Well, we were followed in. My husband dropped me off, and we were followed in by a DeLorean. He was really impressed.
Right. And then he cruised with his doors open.
Yeah,
you
oh,
catch
did he?
that?
I didn't
Yes.
see that. Oh, good.
Yeah, he was going down third with the
Oh.
doors open. So
So that's fun.
our heart is that people have fun.
Yes.
We keep it safe. It's family friendly. We try to make sure that people are safe here, that it's a good family environment.
Okay.
Things for the kids to do. And that's super important to us, that people have fun and it is safe. So
How did you kind of plan your route this year? Because it's a lot different than it has been.
right.
And it's flowing. Everything is flowing so smoothly.
We had some traffic congestion areas. We have Matt Pavlek is our traffic man. He's been in law enforcement for years, and he has done traffic control. That's really one of his specialties. So he came on board last year, and he developed a route plan that we were able to change again this year. This year we have the right lane of Highway 99, Baker Street, from 2nd Street until 5th Street. And that's able to keep things in each loop going.
Yeah, the loop is
Nice.
going really well, and it's just, you've done a wonderful job. Now, I have not walked down on 3rd Street, but you've got food carts and vendors and all sorts of things set up and things
Yes.
for the kids. So
Yep.
where would you recommend somebody to come down tonight to park, to walk over?
Well, parking might be a
I
little
know.
challenge, but there's the city parking right by the courthouse.
Okay.
There's all the parking behind the buildings that are on 3rd, off of 2nd. There's quite a bit of parking there. There's a ton of parking
Okay.
available.
So don't be afraid that you're not going to find a place to park if you want to come down and partake. Lots of people are lined up on the street. This is what I always love to do, is just bring my lawn chair and sit down on the sidewalk and watch the cars go by.
Absolutely. We do
Yes.
too. That's one
I
of our
know.
joys when we're not
Right.
just trying to make everything roll and work, and we make sure that cars are not breaking down. That happens sometimes.
That does.
Let's talk a little bit about this year. Last year, you had a very short time to get ready.
Right.
You've had the whole year now. Has it been
Right.
easier or harder to have the whole entire year?
I don't know, Dave. Is it? I think there's things that we don't see coming
Yeah.
that we can't always plan for. So we have 364 days or 362 days to put it together, right? So for a one-day event, but there's some things you just can't foresee. You don't know how many cars are coming. You don't know when a car's going to break down. So there's just always challenges. We try to prepare for everything, have breakdown material like to put on oil spills and carts that can. We have carts that are chasing after people in tow ability, and we can actually get them parts and help probably get the cars fixed. That's one thing we've really tried to do.
I would imagine that any vendor or any business that you went to in McMinnville was happy to help, or happy to at least offer something if they could.
You know, we had one business last year downtown, and they had the best day they've ever had they've been in business, and they weren't happy about that. They said we had too much business. Because it was a huge day, and we just, we kind of laughed. We shook hands with them, and
wow.
they said, "You got to not have this event again, because it's too busy for us." So many of the
interesting.
Many of the restaurants on First Street and the merchants have their best day ever on this day, and we love that. We love to be able to contribute to the community, because all these people, they have to eat somewhere,
Now I know that
and they have to get gas.
You love your cars. Are you going to be cruising later?
I did some laps at about 6:50 this morning. I did a couple laps to make sure I could cruise. Last year I got out about 10:30.
Okay.
So it's not as important that we cruise, and David has the same heart.
Yeah.
That the important thing is that everybody here is cruising and having fun. We'll do it later.
Okay, let me ask you. I have one final question for you,
Yes,
Tim.
Eve.
I went to high school with you, so in our day, we were cruising McMinnville and dragging the gut. How is it different from then to now?
I'm older.
Well, so am I.
You aren't. I am older. But I think the real difference is cruising for us in that time was our social media. Today we have social media, so we can know what's going on, where it's going on. At that time, we got together to know what was happening and to meet girls. There was no dating online. Online didn't exist.
That's right.
So
You'd
McMinnville's
meet, and then
3rd
you'd
Street.
agree to go park somewhere and get to know somebody or meet them, talk.
Absolutely,
That's right.
yeah. Where was the race? Where was the fight?
Yeah.
Where was the maybe a party even going on?
Yeah.
Maybe. But that was our social media.
That's right.
So it's different today in that this social media actually makes this happen.
And that's so funny.
We bring people in from all over the place that watch us, our Facebook, our Instagram, all that kind of stuff. We actually tried to set up a Snapchat geofence.
Right.
But they will not allow a business to do that for some reason.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
something about our business or being a nonprofit, we couldn't do that.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we were kind of bummed. We thought, let's get Snapchat involved. But
Well, maybe next year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
There you
it's changed, and as we age, things get different, but the nostalgia never changes.
It doesn't, does it?
But we have that fuel in our heart. We smell the gas. We see the cars, and we have McMinnville has a beautiful downtown core.
We do, and this is perfect for it.
And we didn't have the trees when we were kids so
We
much.
did not. I remember when the trees were
And it's
planted.
with the lights, it's much more beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think it's really improved. McMinnville has aged beautifully,
It has.
and the people have become more welcoming, and we feel very welcomed here. So it's that's what we want people coming to McMinnville to think, hey, this is an awesome place to be. So, see, throwing candy,
Get
we
the
just
candy thrown at us.
out of
There
a
you
fire,
go.
we just don't know what's going to happen, and it's such a fun event.
Is there
Really
anybody that you'd like to send some accolades out to and recognize for all their hard work?
Oh,
I'm
my
putting you on the
gosh.
spot, and I hate to do that.
It's
but-
hard because somebody's going to say, oh, he didn't mention us. I would say every one of our sponsors, regardless of the sponsorship level, McMinnville Police Department, McMinnville Fire Department, the Sheriff's Department, Yamhill County Sheriff's Department, everybody interfacing, the City of McMinnville, City Hall, the City Attorney. I mean, every single person has welcomed us,
Good.
and they've made this interface beautiful because they want this to happen. They know this is good for McMinnville. So, to single out one person, everybody is stellar, and we've just had a beautiful connection, and they didn't know what to think last year when we came in.
Well, yeah, it's brand new, all over again.
You had to prove yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of trepidation.
Yes.
And this year, like when we went into the city, our meetings instead of an hour were like 10 minutes or 20 because we just talked about stuff and family and just said hi.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. Just we've developed, and you have to earn trust.
Yes.
And we've developed that trust and confidence. So we're really blessed in that, and that's in turn has blessed the event. And it's prospered because of that. And again, our heart is those kids that we get to give scholarships.
Yes.
We're looking at some grant writing for teachers.
Wonderful.
Coming up, and we were able to help some FFA programs. We're going to help some shop programs. So any proceeds from this goes into the funds to do that. So to give back to the community that's given to us, and I know you get that,
Yes,
right?
I do.
David gets that.
Yes.
Brian, you get that, right?
Can you still get a Cruising McMinnville sticker?
Absolutely. We will have the McMinnville High School dance team here, and they will be selling those stickers. They're going to be roving. So they'll sell stickers with a map and kind of a cruising rules, some do's and don'ts.
Sure.
It's $5. That's a complete donation. We don't force them to have it, but we love it when they have a Cruising McMinnville sticker on their window.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Our T-shirt booth is open. We have hoodies. We have some travel mugs. We have ball caps, just a few. And we have limited edition colored shirts. Not this orange, but there's another orange.
Okay.
Our classic black. We should have gotten them for you guys, so you'd be.
Oh well, we're kind of classic right here.
You'd be rolling Cruising McMinnville colors. But yes, our merchandise booth's open at 3rd and Davis.
For some reason they can't get there, they can go to the website as well, right? And contact you maybe for information for next year or whatever.
Cruising McMinnville on Facebook.
Yes.
At Cruising McMinnville on Instagram.
Perfect.
And our website is www.cruisingmcminnville.org.
And it's very easy to find. I looked it up right before I came down today just to make sure I knew what I was talking about. And yeah, popped right up.
Right.
Tim Elliott, thank you so much for coming down. Thank you for doing this and stepping up when the need perceived itself. And just what a fun thing. I just love it.
You're very welcome, and truly the honor is ours.
Oh,
it is ours to do it.
That's wonderful.
And
Thank you.
we get to do this, so it makes it really, really fun.
Okay, so we'll see you walking around.
Absolutely,
In the orange
guaranteed.
shirts.
Tim.
Thank you, Dave.
Guaranteed. Yeah, we've got these orange targets on, and if we can help anybody that is out there do anything, that's what we're here to do.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Awesome. Thank you,
coming
guys.
by.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's Tim Elliott with Cruising McMinnville. Again, it's the second annual Cruising McMinnville, kind of evolved in from Dragging the Gut. Years ago, Tim and I we did this in the 70s. It's what we were doing way back. And it's just turned into such a social, fun event,
Right.
I think. And I don't actually like cruising so much anymore. I would prefer to be sitting here and watching everybody else do this. And, most of the old cars don't have air conditioning.
There you go. Let's talk
that's
about
why.
when did cruising really stop in here? 'Cause
It was
I
in
know,
the 80s.
I know when I was here in 87 going to college, it was still going on.
Was it?
In the
Okay.
late 80s, we'd come down here and go to the theater, and the kids were still cruising
cruising?
around. So
Well,
late 80s is my guess.
The late 80s it stopped. They put up a notice that you could only cruise up and down.
I think they're still up.
Oh, are they?
They are. Same signs, by the way.
So they were just having too many problems. It got to be
Right.
too big. I mean, it's kind of
Right.
like, hey, something like this where, eventually it just gets to be too much and it needed to be regulated a little bit better.
Right, which it totally is now. It's so much
is.
fun. And you mentioned it earlier when we were talking to Tim, is just the flow of traffic. It is going very well. In the past, we've been around where we've seen cars sit at the stoplight, many different turns of the stoplight.
Yes.
You're maybe seeing cars for about 10 or 15 seconds, almost not long enough. You're like, oh, I want to see that one again, which is cool because it can get around another time pretty
Right.
quickly.
Well, and I think it's better on the cars, too, to get them moving a little bit instead of just idling and sitting. Now, look at this old truck. Look at that. Wow.
But it's impressive.
That is old.
It's kind of have a menagerie of
Yeah.
different pieces and parts on it.
Yep.
If I had to guess, it's going to be a 50s truck.
Okay.
That's all I could say.
Let's see,
So,
Brian, you and I, we don't know a whole lot about,
that's what makes it fun.
but we do know what we like, and there are some really pretty cars coming up. Oh, look at this. How beautiful. Yes. And that's Pam Watts, so that must be her husband Cliff's car, I would imagine. The blue
Pretty nice car.
Yes,
the
it
260Z right there.
There's a
And
260. I remember those.
I had a buddy in college here at Linfield who had one. It wasn't that nice, however. So
Yeah.
his was a little more like that truck we saw a couple
Yeah.
of cars ago. They're
That would be
sweet
something
cars.
we would drive. Yeah.
Exactly. But it was a very fun car to be in, and just kind of cruise around town. Not really cruise back then, but just a fun car to drive. And that's the thing now. I don't know if we have that fun in cars like we used to.
No, I don't think so. I mean, look at these kids having fun. They have no idea. They're thinking, this is crazy.
They've always had that Chevy.
Yeah,
Why
it's
not?
always been in the garage. So it's like, Dad, finally let him take it out.
What's cool, though, is I had a couple people today call me up and say, hey, we're coming to McMinnville.
Hey.
They're coming from the Salem and Portland area, which is really kind of neat. And I think that's how big this event really has. He said somebody from Montana was here.
Right.
So I think more people are like, hey, this would be a fun thing to do because you don't see it everywhere.
And I did see a few Washington license plates and things. So it is it's a beautiful night. And if you're sitting at home watching this, you might want to think about coming on down. It's not that much of a hassle to park and just bring your lawn chair and come on down like the rest of us and just sit here and watch the cars go by. It's a lot of fun. Now, it all started earlier today at noon was the car show, and the cars were lined up and down 3rd Street. Amanda Pewonka was at the car show earlier today. I was told 250 cars lined the street, and luckily, Tim said no cars had to be turned away. They were able to find it. But let's go check in with Amanda from earlier today when she was live on the street.
Hi, this is Mandy with MCM-TV, and I'm here at the 2nd annual Cruising McMinnville. Let's go talk to some people. You and a bunch of other people basically took this from a different event, but you took it and you made something out of it. What can you tell us about it?
In July 1st of last year, we found out the event was being dropped by the former promoter, and 5 of us got together and said, let's take this event on and make it better. And one of the things we talked about was really making it the communities, and we do scholarships for high school kids graduating that are going into the trades. And we have an amazing team, about 35 people on our main volunteer team, our staff we call it, our dream team that actually come and volunteer and makes this event happen. But really it's the people, it's the cars, it's the crowd, it's really, really a fun event.
Yeah, this is awesome. And I'm here with Terry Spencer, the owner of this gorgeous purple lavender beautifulness thing. So how many times have you been coming to this event?
This is my first time at this event. This
Okay.
car's first time, and GTO's first time. So
Oh wow, that's amazing. Are you excited for the actual driving part?
oh yeah, we always like that part. It's always kind of fun, and yeah, look forward to that.
Nice. How many times have you gone back in time?
Not as many times as I've heard that joke.
Is this your first time to cruising McMinnville?
No, since I started this cruise event years ago, we've been here. This is probably maybe the 8th time, so we're here every year.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you for letting us talk to you about your car.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll see you back in time. Here I am with Adam Garvin of Garvin Auto Spa. How long have you been participating in this event?
We've been participating in this event since its inception, and we're one of the founding big block sponsors for Cruising McMinnville.
Awesome. What's your favorite part about all of this?
My favorite part about all this is that we're trying to get youth involved in blue-collar trades. What gets me excited is seeing people's personalities. Every car person has a different personality. You could have 555 Chevys, and they're all going to look different, and they're all going to have their own little personal touches.
It's their own work of art, really. That's awesome. That's really cool. All right, well, thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you, and you guys have a great time filming.
Thanks. You will.
Okay, we are back live, cruising McMinnville in historic downtown 3rd Street. Brian Eriksen, I'm Eve Fuller. We are just enjoying the smell of the fumes.
That's a good way to put it.
And the music.
The music, the smell, and everything else.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. The rumble. And there's a lot of people who are showing off their rumble.
Yes.
I don't.
And that gets you right in the heart. It just
does.
kind of like goes, whoom. So.
And you think about back in the day, and that's kind of what we did. We used to get in
Yes.
trouble for cruising. I did my share of cruising in Salem,
Yep.
and they had a couple different spots there. And
Well,
of course,
they called it burnouts and things
Yeah.
like that. Like this old Ford could probably do that.
it probably could.
Yes.
Cars today, I don't know if they really could do it. I mean, you have to work harder, I think, to
I
get
think
the
you do.
burnouts going.
Yeah, I don't even know if you could. So.
I think you get in trouble too if you do it, but it's fun to just go out there and just take it all in and just be a part of it. You have people riding the back of trucks and everything else, you name it. But that's kind of how it used to be.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. Oh, and look at the smoke. See it? And you never wanted to get behind a truck that had a bunch of smoke coming from it because you're like, oh, boy. And you're going to be smelling it here. The guy sitting on the bicycle, why not?
Why not? Everything, if it's got wheels, bring it on out. If it's a helicopter, bring it on out.
I
We
know,
saw that
that's
earlier
right.
too.
That was earlier.
So
people are waving, they're having fun.
And that's what it's all about, is having fun. It's the one time a year. You don't see this during the weekday.
No.
You don't see it the rest of the year. Very rarely. I don't think there's any cruising really going on in other places. I think, every once in a while you'll have people meet up. There'll be 4 or 5 cars on the side of the road, and you're kind of like, wow, what are they doing? They're actually talking?
Yeah, exactly. I love these guys. They have their pride and joys from way back when, and you can listen to them. We should just listen. The rumble.
Almost on cue, isn't it?
Exactly. Maybe they're listening.
You look down there, and there's the smoke we talked about, and
there's the Chevy
it's
Malibu.
all part of it.
Oh, boy.
I think a lot of it, too, a lot of these cars, Eve, really can't drive all year long.
No.
Because they wouldn't want to sit there and do the idling.
Well,
and
you get awfully cold in some of
You
them,
do.
and then it's awfully hot without air conditioning, and yeah.
Well, you look at every car now is air conditioned. Cars before, they didn't necessarily have it, did they?
No, and you had to roll up your windows.
Yeah. But you
Gosh.
had 455 air conditioning.
Yeah.
4 windows, 55 miles an hour, and that's about all you had.
Exactly.
But it's cool now. Is that very similar to a car we used to go in? The Impala, kind of like the Plymouth.
Yep.
That one's a lot nicer.
More
though.
64, huh? Okay.
I'm guessing it's 1964.
I'm thinking it is.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
And everybody out here helping out. Tim mentioned all the people out there, the volunteers. It takes a lot of volunteers to make things like this happen.
Oh my gosh. And they're on all the street corners, and I just can't say how different it is. The traffic is just moving and moving and moving, and that's great.
We've seen a lot of cars come through and a lot of people being able to get through, and it almost makes you want to go back and do it. When it first started years ago, that I've driven through it a few times.
I did.
But now
Well, it's like being in a parade. Everybody's
go.
looking at you and waving, and you just kind of wave. And I mean, it's a happy thing.
It is. It is.
I mean, we've even had people throw candy at us.
We do. We've got some
know.
here, so it's fun. It's a happy time, and you've got the helicopter going through the
With
aliens
the
again from
Only
Evergreen.
McMinnville. I don't know. That's so crazy.
Could this happen anywhere else? Could it work anywhere else?
I don't think.
I
Well,
don't think so.
It might happen and it might work, but it's not like this.
Wouldn't be
that's
as
for
good.
sure. No.
Well, this is cool. Cruising McMinnville, a great time out here. A lot of people, and just a lot of different cars and vehicles. And I think Tim said he's saw some cars he'd never seen before, which is pretty impressive.
It is, and then when other people in other towns they hear about it and they want to get their old vehicle out of the garage and take it for a drive on a summer day. I mean, wonderful. Yeah, come on down and enjoy it. So, and then there's the other people that you think maybe are, just driving through because they're on their way to work. They're going, what the heck's going on?
Exactly. What are the thoughts in their mind? Like, what the heck is this? Why is McMinnville doing this?
And I love the kids because the kids are like, this is what you used to do.
You really did this?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did.
Exactly.
And I think cruising goes back into the 50s, would be my guess, if I had to guess. Back then, you talk about the music of the 60s, 70s, all referencing cruising.
Right. I was just thinking about American Graffiti today.
Oh, wow.
That's what they were doing.
Yeah?
Yep. And just having fun.
And this is really the social media that of the time, and this is where you were social. This is where you got to know people. This is where you used to find people you would ask out to date or go to a movie or whatever. Go out to dinner. You go to
Well, in the heyday, way back in McMinnville, in the 70s, when I'm speaking of, this wasn't just a McMinnville thing. It was, Sheridan, Willamina, Dayton, Amity, YC. It was the outlying communities that would come to McMinnville, and that's how you got to know some, it's like, oh, I saw you play volleyball against me, and, you got to know some of the other kids in the county that way. And you usually knew them by their car.
Right, right. So. You've got the 83 Ford Rangers, what they used to say to me. Not really.
64 Pontiac, huh? Yeah, I was so proud.
Weren't we all?
Yeah.
Good times. And now you look at these people now in their cars, and some of them are pretty souped up, pretty amazing, immaculate paint jobs. And some are just everyday drivers for some of these people.
They're just on the way, and some are on motorcycles and everything else.
It's awesome.
With a pretty smile and having fun. What's better than that?
You can't beat this. It's the Cruise in McMinnville, and it's going to be going on tonight till about 10 o'clock, and then they'll kind of shut down the streets and whatever.
And let you come back in through the side streets, too. This has got to be a 56. And it's on the license plate. That's the only reason I'm guessing.
I'm going to say, wow, how do you know?
So, well, and I'm not thinking that that's the 56. I don't even know what.
But they're having fun.
Yeah, they are having fun, and that's the main thing.
There's a Fiat.
It's a Fiat, yes, thank you.
And here it comes again. You come through the window, and you hear the music. Yep. I hear AC/DC there. Definitely 80s.
Yep.
80s cruising. I heard some Beach Boys earlier. I heard some 70s I didn't even recognize. I even heard some 50s too. So people are just bringing their music, cranking their music of their era, which is really kind of cool. There's got to be a book, or if nobody's done it, somebody will, of all the music and of the cruising generations.
A dragon, just cruising. Oh, there's definitely been a cruise station.
yeah. If not, we're gonna write the book.
We're gonna do that.
We're gonna write the book, and it's gonna be cruising in the 50s, the 60s, 70s, and probably cruising. Probably goes back even earlier than that.
Oh, sure.
You have people back in the Model Ts. I'm guessing here.
They might have had shows or
car shows.
Car shows or.
Well, probably when they first brought the Model T, it was a show.
A show, yes.
So. Good time. Cruise McMinnville, just some great cars, and the colors of the cars are what get me. There's some amazing, like the purple one there.
Yes.
There was a bright blue that wasn't is the color I've ever seen before.
It wasn't teal, it wasn't aqua, it wasn't just, you couldn't put your finger on it, huh?
But it was just so bright. It wasn't coral. I mean, it was just like the brightest blue I've ever seen. It was just a sparkly blue that it's just. It wasn't natural. It wasn't, the original color of the car, but it was very impressive. And that's what you're seeing is all these different colors are out here, and just the different car paint jobs are just amazing.
Oh, boy. And every convertible, I think, around is out tonight as well.
It's a perfect night for cruising out here, a perfect night for all the different things that are taking place. And there's a lot. You've got some of the cheerleaders down there, he was saying, and they've got stickers they're selling. They've got shirts down here. So
they have vendors. I know that Big Daddy Donuts is down there, and all sorts of other vendors, for food, plus all the restaurants that are open here in McMinnville and place.
It's a party. It's a party that'll go till at least 10 o'clock and beyond tonight.
Pam and Cliff. Hi.
They're like, hey, it's Eve.
Yep.
So very, very cool.
I am. Looks like you guys are too. No, we're not counting. We're broadcasting. And just talking to friends too.
Exactly. There you go. That's what makes this event great.
Yep.
It's very laid back, very casual. One of my friends today who called said, hey, do I need to bring anything? I'm like, dude, just show up, have fun, and your cars, well, it's not that really cool. It's a Mustang. It's pretty awesome. Just come have fun. And that's what they did.
Julie had a birthday recently. Happy birthday, Julie. Just seeing all sorts of people that we knew. And I can tell you, those two high school sweethearts were cruising the gut way back, too, in the early 80s. Probably in that vehicle. Because because they've had that forever.
Perfect vehicle to do it in.
Exactly.
And right now, any vehicle to cruise McMinnville is what you want to bring it out there. And because you can do that in any vehicle, whether it's a hot rod or a convertible or a Fiat or whatever, because that's what it's all about. It's just having fun and just out here and having a good time. We saw some older people out here, which is really kind of cool. That I'm saying older, they must have been in their 90s. The one lady who was in that one car.
Yes.
And she was just the biggest smile on her face.
She was having so much fun waving to people. It really is. You're in a parade. It's like people are watching you and you just kind of smile and wave. And, they might be looking at your car, but so what?
That's why you're here, right?
Smile on your face. It makes all the difference.
That's right. So we've seen all ages out here and all generations. There's a little Ford Ranger there.
And all colors as well.
Mine wasn't as nice as that.
No. We're cruising McMinnville, the second annual Cruise McMinnville, kind of devolved into it from a few years back. Brian Eriksen, I'm Eve Fuller. We're down here till 7 tonight, but it goes on until 10 tonight. And come on down and just see what's going on. It's really it's just fun. People have lined up the streets with their chairs and just kind of watching the cars go by, which is what it's all about. Bring some cold water. You might want to do that and just wave to the people that you know, because you're probably going to know somebody in the vehicles that are driving by.
Well, it's perfect weather out here. It's 78 degrees. Yeah, you can't beat that. And that's what it's all about, is having fun. And I was just thinking, though, when I was out cruising, Eve, down there on Commercial Street, and it used to be Portland Road in Salem. And we'd come over here every once in a while, but not often.
You'd come to McMinnville?
We'd come to McMinnville and cruise.
Why?
My buddies knew that there were people who were here cruising, and so we came out here and we thought, hey, let's just go try it out. And we just went down the street, and then we came, through, and that was probably.
Did that bring you to Linfield?
I think it might have. I might have done that. But that was in the mid '80s.
Okay.
But we used to did most of our cruising on Commercial on Portland Road, and very same thing. My buddies' parents had a Chevy Impala, and it seated 3 in front and 14 not 14
back,
but 4 in the back, and we'd have 7 people, if not more, in that car. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening.
Yeah, I know.
And but we would drive around and just have a good time, and then we would stop and pull over at a neighborhood restaurant. One of the burgers or whatever, and just sit there.
A&W root beer or something. That's what we would do. I was also thinking about it. They cruised down Broadway in Portland for years and years and years.
Right.
So, it was a thing. Almost every community did it until they had to kind of stop it, I guess, from getting out of hand. So.
And I wonder what would happen if they didn't stop it. Wouldn't we have this event?
I don't think we'd have this event.
No, which is, good they stopped it. And I remember, though, when those signs went up, and I'd say it's probably 88, 87, 88, right in there. It was a huge ordeal.
Oh, it was huge. It's like, what? How could they stop me from driving down 3rd Street?
They did.
They did.
But, like you said, now we have this event, which is really cool, because cruising is... I don't say there's not a need for it.
No.
But it's not the...
And it's not, what am I thinking? For the fumes and the fuel and all that.
There's a lot of fuel being used.
Yes.
And the economy's good, right? So I guess it's good.
Yeah. Boy, and when I was cruising way back, it was the gas lines. So my poor dad, he'd get up and go sit in the gas line and fill up my car, and then it's like, well, Saturday morning, I don't have any gas, Dad.
There's probably a lot to that, and that probably did shut down a lot of cruising because of the gas shortages.
Yeah, he was not happy on some occasions. Like, what did you do? And, they think I went somewhere.
No, just went down 3rd Street
downtown.
Once or 2,
That's right.
300, 400 times. Good times, and I think the cool thing here is seeing all the different cars, and it's like they've kind of opened it up a little more cars. Different ones are coming in now in our loop here, which is really cool. That van there, just kind of off track, but that's one of the hottest things right now. Those are in vogue again.
Yes, they are. Those Volkswagen vans, my gosh. Isn't that a Volkswagen? Yeah,
it is. It is open top, and kind of shows you the generation there, the iPhone, cruising on the thing, and that's where we are now, which is different. It's cool, but those vans very popular now. with the younger set and even the middle set, and the older set
and
too,
the older set.
which is pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
it's kind of see the evolution. I think it's one thing too that we talked about that with Tim. Just the evolution of from where we started to where we are today, back to cruising again, and just having that nostalgia. And it's hard to get rid of the nostalgia. And then people will say that that's the toughest drug is the nostalgia and bringing back things like that.
Yep. Oh boy, this is the old car that we've got going on here, and when he tries to rev it, that's the one that gets your heart just stomping. It's like, whoa, okay.
Hey, on cue. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, he can do this. Let's get it going, guy.
See if he's going to do it or
I
not.
don't know.
And really, he's done it a few times already. And you're doing it too. Also, with a lot of cars, not a lot of space between
That's
you,
right.
and so you got to be
Yeah,
careful. And that's
do.
all about safety out here, which has been really nice. And I think it's one thing that Tim has brought to it in his organization, and it's been really safe, fun family event.
Yeah. And the girls are going, "What's going on?" There we
Dad,
go.
why are we
so
going?
what is this? Is this? I don't know. It's something that he put together, perhaps.
I could not tell you. However, my guess is that it's something that's probably original with that.
The motor, yeah.
The motor, and then even the windows, and there's probably a top that goes over it.
I would imagine.
I couldn't even guess what year it is, but it's something that you don't see a lot of, which is the cool
you
thing.
don't. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Old Dodge truck behind it, and just
So, if you had any choice of any car you'd want, you're going to come down here, 3rd Street, and Matt's like, Eve, here, we're going to go get a car for you to cruise down 3rd.
well, it'd have
What
to
would you
be
get?
convertible. Have to
Okay.
have a top down. We saw something here a long time ago tonight, and it had a rumble seat.
Oh.
That's what I'd like. I don't know what kind of car that is, but it had the rumble seat in the back, and that would be the best one to be cruising in.
Okay.
So
I did see, I've always thought it'd be like a 67, 68 Ford Mustang or something like that. Or, but I think there was a Porsche down here in the car show earlier. That was probably like a 91 or 92, which kind of shocked me.
okay.
But it was
nice.
amazing. Very nice. And
Was
I thought,
that one of Mike Morris's?
I couldn't tell you. I have pictures of it on my
Okay.
phone. I can show you later. I keep talking, my grandfather's truck was like a maybe early 50s GMC,
Okay.
which my uncle has now. And he's got it. He's been working on it. It's in Prineville. I keep trying to talk him in to,
Coming this way.
we could just bring it in here and have fun. But, I think part of it is, too, he doesn't want to put too many miles on it. And
His one drive over.
exactly. He'd probably put it on a flatbed if he really wanted to.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it can
Help
be done,
him out with
right?
that. You betcha.
Yeah, someday you'll see me doing that, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'd be fun. It'd be a good time.
There's an old Corvette. Okay, there's some really nice things, and then we've got somebody that's parking because of something.
As the smoke goes billowing by as
Yep.
well. And maybe have a little
Nope, there
issue.
it goes.
There we go.
Yeah,
There's an
the-
old truck right there.
cruising McMinnville staff. They're cruising. That's great that they can actually get into it and do it.
There's a car back from the Dukes of Hazzard, a replica General Lee, which
Yep.
I'm not sure about the appropriateness nowadays.
Well,
But there it is, the General Lee, of course, from the Dukes of Hazzard TV show back in the day.
and there's some more of the cruising McMinnville volunteers. Woohoo!
A nice old truck, an old Ford. We got a Chevy Apache right behind it we're looking at right now. Which, it's a beautiful truck there. I don't know if you can, is it an orange or is it red? I can't tell with the light. It's a red on there, a Chevy. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's like the prelude to the Suburban.
He's got a Sprague hat on, so
Oh, you do?
he's from Salem
Salem.
area, so
See, they come from all over, just
Well,
like you did, Brian.
exactly. They were in the Little League World Series this year. It's the only reason I
That's
recognize that
right.
hat. So
Okay.
kind of cool to see that. There's a Dodge coming through, and the light right now is right at the epitome. You want to see is the sparkling
Yes.
of the different cars. You can see the the flares almost coming off of the different cars, the light flares.
It's really kind of cool looking.
Yeah, it is awesome.
That.
And it's that almost magic hour,
Yes.
6:40 in the evening, and that just kind of throws off the glare, which is pretty cool.
Well, you're watching Cruising McMinnville live, downtown historic 3rd Street. It started at 5 o'clock, the actual cruising. The car show itself started at noon today, and it goes on until 10 o'clock tonight. So we are down here, and we are in it for the long haul. Well, at least till 7 o'clock. And,
It's a long haul for us, right?
Yeah, it is. But boy, it's sure a lot of fun to watch these people in their old cars and just having a blast driving up and down. And oh, boy, that's a pretty thing too. I wish I knew more about cars, because that I don't.
I'm guessing that's a Corvette.
It's beautiful.
It is a very nice, the blue and the white,
There we
very
go.
cool, and just having a good time. And
Yeah.
how often do you get to do that? I mean, you can take it out every once in a while
Yeah.
and show some people, go to a car show here and there, but you get hundreds of people, probably even more, hundreds
watching
of
'em.
cars, just
Yeah.
watching them. And you mentioned it's a parade. It's pretty much
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
A fun time. And so you can still come on out here. You said it goes till 10 o'clock tonight. And so many cameras out here, too, and camera phones.
I know it.
That's the cool
oh, yeah,
thing.
everybody's taking pictures. It's kind of fun. You can't get the smell, though, from those pictures.
Someday.
And the fumes. Yeah, it's coming, I'm sure.
This is their second car right here. Oh, they just went away from there, that Honda. They're the one, that little beach mobile
They had
earlier.
that beach buggy,
They did.
didn't they? Yeah, isn't that fun?
I think the hair
so they
gives
went
it
home
away.
and changed and came back.
We should ask them.
Okay, now we've got the Cookie Monster riding.
Yep, that's the one that Tim was talking about. So
Oh, boy.
that's awesome. We've seen them around a few different places.
Well, we're down on 3rd Street. We're down on 3rd and down by Galloway, I think it is, or Irvine. But you want to make your way down, all the way down 3rd Street to Cowles and all the way down, because there's lots of things going on. The food vendors are out and just people having a great time. It's just a family-friendly event. And is that an old motorcycle?
Yeah, make it any way you can. It's got
Yeah.
2 wheels or more.
Awesome. I like it.
Bring it on in. Kind of a fun little vehicle. And
Yeah.
not sure how street legal it is,
Yeah.
but
Or safe.
or safe.
Yeah.
I think the helmet would be nice.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. We're having fun here.
Look at that, having a great time, just waving. It's like that's a, couldn't tell you what year, a Mustang convertible.
That looks more of, yeah, I couldn't tell you what year either. A Super Sport.
It's a beautiful car. Look at that. Wow.
What, I don't even know. I've never even heard of that.
Pretty awesome.
Huh.
Pretty awesome colors. You got a Monte Carlo there and then a Schmidt truck.
Woohoo, okay.
Now, we were talking about the big missile carrier earlier,
Oh,
Tim. Was,
maybe this
that's
is it.
for sale. No, it's for sale. It's over
Oh.
there. I don't think it'll go through. It's
Well,
huge.
everybody needs a missile carrier, don't they?
Definitely.
Oh,
So many ways we can go with that right now.
Yeah.
But that thing is a huge vehicle, and it takes up like 3 spots. It was over down by one of the restaurants down there off the side street earlier in the
Okay.
day, and just
Oh
happened
my
to walk
gosh.
by it.
Wow.
And it is for sale, so if you want one. Get the music, the jams pumping.
yeah.
That's one thing you don't hear enough of anymore. You don't hear the bass or feel the bass like you
You don't
used to.
feel the boom boom. That's right.
Exactly.
Not anymore.
Kind of miss that.
Okay. I'm trying. What is that? A water truck? A rescue truck? I'm not even sure.
There you've got a Falcon right there.
Oh, this is the pretty one, the baby blue,
Fuzzy dice.
and the fuzzy dice. Gotta have it. Why not?
You know, there's a story there I probably should know, Eve, but fuzzy dice, I've never known the origin story.
You know, somebody told me a story about it once, but I'm not going to repeat it. but it's got to color coordinate with your car.
Can't wait to get home to Google that thing.
Yeah.
There's a Chevy pickup, and that's kind of like my grandpa's truck I was talking about. There's little bit nicer at this moment, but you don't see a lot of those. I think the one thing about these is the rounded mirrors. My grandpa or my uncle was telling me it's hard to get those rounded mirrors on the side to replace it.
Well, and I would, yeah, you'd have to be really shopping in a junkyard or something for them.
And there's probably not a lot of them around anymore. To do that. Get some cars that, a car like that is something I used to cruise in back in the 80s, which is becoming, Monte Carlo's becoming popular again. That's weird.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
There's another one of those Super Sports.
Yeah, it's a Camaro. Huh.
Very nice car.
Nice. That's a very nice paint job, too. I like that color. Well, it's a whole row of them.
There you go. They must have got on the horn and said, it's all neat. And
let's do it.
Let's get 3 or 4 of them in a row. White or yellowish cream, I guess, with a black accent. Very nice paint job there. I'm sure there's a Camaro club of some sort that they probably meet up and
I would imagine. You bet.
Show off their cars.
Yes.
There's the orange one.
And talk and talk and talk. Yeah.
And I almost venture a guess that all 3 of those cars have those engines. They could definitely lay some rubber.
Yep.
There's
some probably like this one too.
A Mustang there. Yep. Very, I don't know if it's called a fastback. See, I'm good with this.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of people in Nomi are laughing right now. Great night to come on down here to Cruise McMinnville. 78 degrees, just the sun setting, magic hour.
That's right.
Fun time, and just, one of that is the happiest you'll see people who are stuck in traffic.
That's right, exactly. Being stuck in traffic is not a problem.
Not at all.
No. Oh, people are having fun. Parents are bringing their kids or even grandkids and looking around and just having fun.
Wonder how many kids and grandkids go home after this and they really did this? I'm going to look at YouTube and see what type of videos are out there of them cruising.
I don't think there's too many videos.
Exactly. They probably don't believe it.
No.
But you said, a couple of those shows that you talked about.
Yep.
American Graffiti, even Quarterback Princess.
Did we where's Dragon the Gut involved in that?
They met at Alf's and.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
okay.
So they had to get there. So
they did have to get there.
Had to get Quarterback Princess mentioned in there somehow, right?
Okay. Oh boy.
A lot of people just, hey, let's go out there and show off the car. And we saw the one couple that had the beach buggy and then changed into their other car. A lot of people are doing that, and they're going home or they're parking and then coming out to see the cars that they haven't seen.
Dinner, having something and sitting and watching.
And they can see cars that they haven't seen, and they can partake in it as well, which is pretty cool for them because there's so many different vehicles. And just, if you got an old car like that, you're probably into looking at other people's cars as well.
Yeah, you would be. Definitely.
And then there's some people who just get caught in traffic.
Yep. Exactly.
Can't believe it right here. So.
Well, I wanted to mention one more time, Cruising McMinnville, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, second year of Cruising McMinnville. One of their main objectives, though, is not just to cruise and have fun, but that is a big one. They do offer scholarships to Yamhill County students who are going on into trade schools. And this year's first recipients, Noah Burris and Dama Flores, were this year's winners. So we say congratulations to them, and I think that's awesome that they're going on to school into something that they've always been interested in, and boy, come back to work and maybe even look at some of these old cars later on down the road.
That's right. And probably end up driving a few down here. You never know.
You never know.
And probably by the time they're our age, they'll be driving the 2015.
Yes, it'll be in the our 2017 Jeep will be in a vintage. Hopefully it'll still be running.
There you go. There you go. Good time. And you said they'll be here till 10 o'clock tonight. So if you're able, still come on out here. It's a great night to partake, and you can smell and feel the action here.
Yes, you can.
There's a lot to definitely smell and feel. the one thing.
I'm hearing bagpipes. Are you hearing bagpipes?
I was listening to I was listening to the music and thinking what song that is.
Yeah.
But it's either bagpipes or a stuck horn,
Oh, okay.
which could be both, actually.
It could be both. Interesting.
And I know horns do stick.
Oh.
I've had that happen
Have
in
you?
my 83 Plymouth Champ. Yeah. We put a horn in there that did all the different tones in the
Oh,
world.
yeah.
And it got stuck, and it just kept going over and over and over. I finally had to cut the cord on it.
Look at this guy.
Look at that.
He is just having fun. Oh, boy. Looking around.
Oh,
What's going on? Look at those sounds.
he definitely felt that,
Yes,
didn't he?
he did.
They're
Oh,
having
how
a great
cute.
time. That's awesome.
Yes.
What a great shot. That's what it's all about. And this will be something the
Yes.
younger kids go out and tell all their friends, hey, guess what we did this weekend? Or next year, what can we do that again?
Yeah. No, it is. It's just a lot of fun. And it's just, get you out of the house. What else would you be doing on a Saturday night, you know?
Working on your car?
Yeah, working on your car, shining it up
Exactly.
for the Sunday car show.
That's right.
Yeah, or the Sunday drive. Oh,
That's awesome.
there's your GMC truck. Oh,
We've
well, we're certainly having fun down here on 3rd Street. Cruising McMinnville in full swing. It goes till 10 o'clock tonight. You can catch it here on MCM. We're going to stay down and watch it just because we enjoy being here and doing this.
Definitely.
We love
Definitely.
it. And the people that are here making all the difference. So thanks to Tim Elliott for coming in and helping us today with the broadcast, and for all the work that all the volunteers with Cruising McMinnville have done to put this all together. It's really been a terrific ride for them this year. Ryan, what do you have to say?
Hey, just come on out here and feel it, take it in, smell, feels, have fun. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about, and hopefully we'll be here next year to bring it to you again. Some of the same cars, some new cars, and maybe some really, really old ones again as well. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.